give your details to a policeman under the traffic law.
Okay, if you committed offence.
Yes. And what offence?
Surely that's called
failure to give your name would then.
police officer speaking condition.
There's no law in this country, is there? It's a civil dispute between.
Right, could I respectfully ask?
Nobody who knows law is allowed to be near the gentleman, right?
You're not both obliged to give your details, just saying. He doesn't want anybody else around or leaving anyone.
Wait, we'll give that, we'll respect that, man.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just filming from across the road. This guy's just been pulled over on site. We're not quite sure why. They're not giving us many details. Not sure who the guy is. Okay, so we've got another car that's pulled up now. Not quite sure what's going on here. Checking the guy's documents.
Is that clear enough, officer?
You've got a point of view.
Absolutely I do.
But you don't
I've
actually have
witnessed
any
it.
answer to any of my questions.
What question?
Right, have you got the recorded mileage of the vehicle?
That's your job to find out.
Do you know that I don't? That was the question, which you've not answered,
No, sorry,
have you?
you've just introduced that. Because you
No,
just
I've got a clear record of what the question was.
Provide me the record then.
No, answer the question that I'm not. Don't just deny that I asked it. It doesn't make any difference whether I asked it or not. I've just asked the question. Do you know that I don't have a record of the speed of that car? Well, there you go. That's it. That's the answer that I was asking. That's the question I asked, and you finally answered.
Have you provided?
Instead of throwing out quibbling other questions.
I think we're going to accept that. Anything I say.
What are you going to accept? What are you going to accept? What do you mean by
It's not going to be
properly?
answered with any sense.
You quibbled about a car going through at 90 miles an hour for no reason at all. Everybody knows what's meant by a car came through at 90 miles an hour. If we were to line up 100 people...
Can I just ask you a question?
No, you can't.
Yes,
I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Good, excellent.
Right, if we were to line up...
You weren't talking to me. That's fine. You don't,
Yeah, he's not talking to you. He's not talking to you.
I'm asking you.
EG10 getting aggressive. EG10 getting aggressive.
If we were to line up 100 people...
CR227ETG not fit for purpose. Fit being
If we were to line up 100
the appropriate word to use because he is fit. He's not PLO.
One job at a time.
He's got no social skills.
Do one job at a time.
I'm not talking to you. Is that clear enough? CK127.
So you're now going to block
we were to line
the
up
fella from
100
talking to the officer he was talking
people
to.
and ask them what was understood by the term a car going at 90 miles an hour. 99 of them,
Sorry.
99 of those 100 people would know what was meant by a car going at 90 miles an hour, right? The one person that wouldn't understand that, and probably the one person that would quibble about it, would be an imbecile. Is that clear enough for you? CR278.
I'll go back to you.
I've finished.
Your evidence, friend.
Bye.
You're the one who's
Well,
spoken.
you seem to think
Obviously,
the gentleman here is telling me that he's got records of
90 miles an hour.
He asked you
90 miles an hour.
if you could prove that he didn't. The reason they've
Yeah, and
been
I've said
90
that's
miles
not
an
a
hour.
car. So if you can provide me with
Obviously, you're only here to
Car
facilitate.
came through at 90 miles an hour. Now, do you honestly think he was being completely literal with that 90 miles an hour? Do you think a car came through at 90 means we like speed, or does it mean
not
something
providing me
speed?
any actual facts to deal with it.
Okay, a car came
What was
through
the registration
visibly
of it?
over the speed.
Yeah, but you're only a police liaison.
Oh yeah.
What's the
You're not a
registration?
detective. Just report it to those that
So
are responsible
I can't.
for
If I
doing
asked you for the
detective work,
registration
that's what
and the
you're supposed
speed
to
that you've got recorded somewhere,
You've got no business doing
maybe we could
detective
deal with
work.
it. But
Well, unfortunately, it went by at too great a speed.
As per many of this gentleman's claims, there's no actual evidence of what we're actually trying to investigate.
Well, it actually sped well over the limit past a group of
I
transport
accept that
police.
you think it's sped well over the limit, but where is the evidence of this
transport
car?
police
On your CCTV
How do I
van.
go? How do I go?
On your
and find it?
CCTV. On your CCTV.
When did it
van.
happen?
Mind your feeling of.
Well, nor do I, and this is the problem. This gentleman has all the cards, but he's not prepared to tell me about
Yeah,
it.
but all you got to do is put your CCTV van back and film
I'm
it.
not going to review 38, 40 days of CCTV to find one potential vehicle.
There's loads. There's more than one.
What about the truck drivers?
I had one come through about 100 miles this morning.
I'm talking about the vehicle this gentleman.
CR278.
And what details have you got for
No, I was in my tent. I could only hear it. I've heard it.
heard something come through.
I know when
I'm
something's
afraid
going
to say,
fast.
you know, as well as I do, that is not substantive for me to actually
I'm just saying.
deal with that.
I mean,
is
your
it?
officers must have been here.
The officers were. I approached the officers,
What about?
and they agreed with me that the
What
vehicle
about
I heard-
speed
I
truck
heard that.
drivers?
But apparently, with all of this, they don't have the resources to pursue speeding
They've got
vehicles.
CCTV van down there.
What
Yeah,
if any
yeah.
police officer on this
They had
site
a car
done
pointing in
about
the
truck
direction.
drivers coming in while they're using their phones, driving down the road, a heavy goods vehicle while he's on the phone?
It's happened several times while I've been on the marches with you, and I've pointed it out to you on several occasions, and you've done nothing about it.
Things seem to have happened on a lot of
You've got the
occasions.
logs.
I've got it all on film. Me telling you about it. The guy in his cab on his
I'm
phone.
afraid it's not quite the case.
Well, it is the case.
It's exactly
I understand
the case. You're a
why.
liar,
I
is the
understand.
case.
No.
You lie. You're a liar.
It is the case, mate.
You're a professional paid liar.
It's easy for you to stand there and say it's not the case, but I've got video evidence. Do you know what I mean?
Let's have the video.
Stand there and blatantly lie.
Okay, I'll sort it out.
We'll do that later.
I'll sort it
The
out. Yeah.
CCTV vans, they record number plates and everything.
What van you're talking
The
about?
little yellow one that's parked in
Some of
the
them do.
corner
Is
over
that an
there.
admission?
It depends on which van.
Some of them
Well, we had a
do.
big one up there and a little one down here for a couple of weeks. I mean, surely they read the number plates and all that.
Thank you.
You're not denying
It
that
depends.
they're
It depends.
They
It
do
depends on
speed
where
traps
what the
and
camera's looking at. I don't
He's
know.
not
I can't-
denying it. So that's basically.
Have you? I mean, again,
I don't know the technology
No,
of it
exactly.
now.
I don't know what the camera's actually going to pick up. So I can't honestly say
They
that.
must have speed cameras.
But you know somebody that would know. Is that right? Could you go and find out for us?
No.
You wouldn't find out.
The question is actually trying to.
So you don't think. You think the question is pointless?
Yes.
We're trying to identify which
all right for you to
cars
film us,
are
but
going
not
through
really
They
here.
won't tell me
and
the speed.
We are trying to
It won't tell me
identify
the speed.
which cars are going through here at excessive speed. And in order to do that, we have asked you to establish whether or not those vehicles have number plate recognition on
And
them.
I say to
And
you,
you
it
have
will
replied
not
to
take-
us
it
that
will
you are
not tell me
unwilling
the
to
speed
find
of
out
the vehicle.
whether or not those vehicles have number plate recognition on them. Is that correct, officer?
That's correct.
CR278.
That's correct.
Okay, so could you tell me the name of the officer that you report to so that we can pass that request on to him?
Well, you want the officer here in charge, or do you want the overall person in
Your
charge of the
immediate
operation?
report.
My immediate
Your
line
immediate report.
Well, that's got nothing to do with this.
I'm simply asking a question.
You
You're
can-
at
you can
liberty
pass
to
it-
answer
you
it
can pass
in
it
whichever
on to
way you choose.
Superintendent
In
Derek.
whichever way you choose.
Superintendent Derek.
That's it. Okay, I think we've finished now.
Well done.
You can move
I
along.
don't think we. Thanks for the. Thanks for the addition.
What are you doing here? What are you doing here? Why quibble about the fact cars are going through too fast? Whenever we bring it up, you say, well, we cannot absolutely objectively establish that. It's ridiculous. It's laughable, honestly. You're undermining. I don't know what your problem is as an individual, but as an institution, it's really unhelpful.
With
yeah?
you as a person.
We pay good money for
as a
this
person,
institution to protect
at the
us.
end of a police
That's it.
fine, would you expect
We're
me
getting
to see
very
the
poor
evidence?
value.
If you were pulled
We're
over
getting
for-
very poor value. Okay?
If you were pulled over for speeding, would you be happy if I said to you, some person down there said you were going 99 miles an hour, and therefore I'm going to give you a call. Would you expect me to provide some evidence?
We would actually expect
will you give me the time to answer that
collect
question?
some evidence.
Will you give me?
We'd expect you to collect some evidence. When we're repeatedly telling you that people are driving up and down this road too fast, you as a police officer, it is your duty to go out there with a speed camera and check for evidence, especially when it's happening repeatedly while you're standing here.
It's not, because there is.
Yes, it is. It's not your responsibility.
Sufficient evidence to actually
Yes,
say
it is.
Well,
yes, it is.
But you've seen it. We've all seen it.
Of evidence?
We've all seen it.
They turn their backs at the gate.
What is your definition of evidence?
What have you actually seen?
What is your definition of evidence? What is your definition of evidence?
You're basically asking questions that are completely and utterly irrelevant to try and get some kind of reaction rather than an answer.
So you don't know what evidence is?
Your point is you go off.
You're not prepared.
To try and
Me?
provoke some kind of
no, we're staying absolutely on course. What we're bringing, what we're recording is the response of the police to people, to members of the public complaining to the police about cars going too fast.
That's absolute bullshit, man.
Yeah,
that's absolute bullshit.
We don't have to argue about it.
I've been in a situation myself, and you know full well I have, where a gentleman tried to drive at me on that drive right over there, and you guys absolutely laugh. Where does this come from?
Do you go to bullshit?
Again and again we're bringing...
At the moment I've got around about 5 people talking to me once.
Well, why don't you get somebody else who can talk English? Yeah? Because we're not making progress with you.
No, you're just being basically insulting, which is that's fine.
How do you tell whether...
That's the way you want to conduct yourself.
No, hang on then. I'm prepared to give you a chance. Go on, try again.
So PLO's not willing to talk anymore, even though they're entire...
Well, repeatedly. I mean, this is what we get all the time. They don't like what we say, so they walk off and say, "Oh, it's unreasonable."
What about the whole traffic thing, Ross? I've spoken to 5 sergeants, 2 inspectors. Yeah, 5 sergeants, 2 inspectors and a chief inspector about getting the SID devices, the speed indication devices that were given to every community that wanted them, that had their own neighbourhood watch, whether it was 2 strong or 10 strong, they were given these things. They wouldn't give them to us. At first it looked like we were going to get sleeping policemen. All of it just gets laughed off. Then the only response to asking for any of that equipment was to take away the traffic safety signs, take away the traffic cones, take away the solar panel, the solar pedestrian sign, take it all away and then say that they're not dealing with it, or that they have to go through the proper channels.
Or that they have to evict us for road safety issues.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what's going on here, isn't
People
it?
are
Basically,
us from the
they're
village.
withdrawing all their
People are throwing
support.
bottles of piss out the windows. They're throwing leaflets out the windows. They're throwing, all this and that out the windows. They drive at 90 miles an hour, which nearly sends the tents down the road with them afterwards for a vortex. And the only response we get is that we're the hazard. And we've got a community here